Alrighty, this is your Unit 12 cones homework tutorial. I'll work the odd problems with you. Just a reminder, the first 4 problems, we're going to round to the nearest tenth. And then the last 4 problems, we're going to write the answers as in terms of pi. So for the front side, the best thing to do to round to the most accurate tenths place is to use the formulas you see at the top of the sheet. And that way we're not rounding too many times. So to find the lateral area, you're going to take pi times our radius times our slant height. On number 1, I'm sorry, never mind. Never mind what I was about to say. Our radius is 6, our slant height is 10. So when we grab our calculator, we're going to type it in exactly like this. So 6 times 10 times pi. And that's approximately 188.5 centimeters squared. Now, I'm going to write the first part, 188.5, but when I use the calculator, I'm not going to type 188.5. I'm just going to hit answer because that's the best and more accurate way of representing that answer right now. But just for time's sake, I'm only going to write the additional piece of the surface area formula. So I just need to now add pi times my radius, which is 6 squared. So in the calculator, all I'm going to do is just add the last little bit. Pi times 6 squared. Again, we're trying to keep the answers as accurate as possible. If we do too much rounding too soon, it throws off our accuracy. So pi times 6 squared. And you get approximately 301.6 centimeters squared. Now for volume. The volume says to take 1/3 times pi times your radius squared times your 3D height. Again, our radius is 6, but we need to find our 3D height using this right triangle right here that is formed by the radius and the slant height. So we have A and C. So the shortcut for our 3D height, given A and C, is to take C squared minus A squared. And when you calculate that, you would get 8 centimeters. So our 3D height is 8. Now we're going to put this all in the calculator. So that's pi times 6 squared times 8 divided by 3. And you get roughly 301.6 again. But this is for our volume. So we label it centimeters cubed. Number 3. Again, to find the lateral area, it's pi times our radius times our slant height. We're given our radius, which is 9. We need to find our slant height using this right triangle formed by the 3D height and the radius. We're given A and B. So the shortcut for Pythagoras theorem to find our slant height is to take A plus B squared. And you would get 15. So our slant height is 15. So now let's type that in our calculator. Pi times 9 times 15. And it's approximately 424.1 centimeters squared. So again, I'm transferring the information just so you can see it on paper. But in the calculator, I'm going to use all that entire decimal to represent my lateral area. Again, the only thing I need to add is pi times my radius squared. And my radius, again, is 9. And 9 squared is 81, so I'm essentially adding 81 pi. So plus 81 pi. Oops. There. And that's approximately 678.6 centimeters squared. Now for volume. 1/3 times pi times my radius squared times my 3D height is the best formula to use to be the most accurate. And again, my radius is 9. My 3D height is 12. So in the calculator, I'm going to put pi times 81 times 12 divided by 3. And I get approximately 1017 centimeters cubed for my volume. Number 5 is next. Number 5 and on, we're going to do the exact area and volume. So that means in terms of pi. But the lateral, again, is pi times our radius times our slant height, as always. The radius of number 5 is not given, so we're going to find it using Pythagorean's theorem. So the radius is found by taking 13 squared minus 12 squared, and you would get 5. So our radius is 5. Our slant height is 13. So when I say in terms of pi, the only thing that goes in the calculator is 5 times 13. And we get 65. So our lateral area is exactly 65 pi centimeters squared. So we can bring that down for our surface area, and we're going to add pi times our radius squared. Our radius, again, is 5. So essentially, you're taking 65 pi plus 25 pi. So 65 plus 25 is 90. So it's 90 pi centimeters squared. So when you're combining like terms and basically treating pi like x, so 65x plus 25x is 90x. So it's kind of the same idea. Now for our volume, it's 1 over 3 times pi times our radius squared times our 3D height. Radius is 5, 3D height is 12. So again, the only thing going in the calculator is 25, because that's 5 squared, times 12 divided by 3. And we get 100 pi. So our volume is 100 pi centimeters cubed. So that's what we mean by in terms of pi. Pi is in the answer. Don't put pi in the calculator. Otherwise, you're going to get funky decimals. And number 7. For number 7, the radius is 5. And to find, we need to find the slant height and the 3D height. But if you notice, the triangle that connects those two pieces is a special right triangle, the 30, 60, 90 triangle. Yes, I know we want to try and forget these rules, but you can't. They keep coming back. So again, the rule or pattern is across from 30 is x, across from 60 is x root 3, and across from 90 is 2x. So the only side we are given is the side that is across from 30. 30 is in this corner. Across from 30 is 5, which represents our radius. So following the pattern, that means the next thing should be 5 square root of 3, which would be your 3D height. And then the next thing should be 2 times 5, which is 10, which is your slant height. So again, your 3D height is 5 root 3, and your slant height is 10. Now I have everything I need to find my lateral area, which is pi times my radius times my slant height. My radius is 5, my slant height is 10. So exactly 50 pi feet squared. Bring that down, 50 pi plus pi times my radius squared. So my radius is 5. So 5 squared is 25. So 25 plus 50 is 75 pi feet squared. And lastly, my volume. It's 1/3 pi times my radius squared times my 3D height. Radius is 5. 3D height is 5 square root 3. So even on this one, for the exact, I'm not even putting the root in the answer. So everything except for, I'm sorry, in the calculator, everything except for pi and my root. So that's 5 squared times 5 divided by 3. which is 41.7 to the tenths. But again, we're trying to keep things exact, so a fraction is okay. A fraction is actually better. So let's turn this into a fraction by going to math 1. So it's 121. I'm sorry, 125 square root of 3 over 3 pi feet cubed. That's the exact volume. I could have said 41.7 square root of 3 pi, but 0.7 is a rounded answer, so we wanted the exact. And this concludes your tutorial. So again, finish the evens on your own. Good luck.